All right, well, it's watering time. We're gonna try farmer watering cam. Here we go. Here's the onions we've been saving. These guys are all going to seed. They're bolting, but that's what we wanted. It's part of the plan. This is a good deal. Hey Jay, would you keep an eye on the pump? Yes. It's not gonna hold that whole 1,200 gallons, so. I took the lid off, so it'll just spill out the top.
Okay.
So let's see. Oh man, look at that. Look how pretty that is. That is the green peas, red Russian kind of kale there. These are the Monte Carlo lettuces. We just put those in. There's just a few around in different places. I don't know if the camera, I don't think the camera's getting everything. Try to keep it out here. You can't see the stuff down here. It is May 10th. It is probably about 5:30. It's 11% humidity, 81 degrees. Yeah, and these red lettuces are just beautiful too. I really love them. Yeah, it's so much color. And at this time of night, the sun's just starting to get low. The light's just great in here. A really nice place to be. So Jay was just in here harvesting for her big dinner tomorrow. You can see there's lettuces interplanted here. And then she pulled the radishes out. So the radishes went in, probably February, something like that. And Jay just harvested all those. And these lettuces are all ready. And there's also a bunch of, this is mullein. But you know, I don't mind mullein, and it's pretty good ground cover right now. It's fine, it's not doing any harm. I'll go in and pull it out later. We might even harvest it as babies for respiratory stuff. We just let it grow up every here and there. So starting to have successions. Things are coming out, getting harvested, getting eaten, feeding people, and then we've got new stuff going in. So it never stops, just keeps on going. I mean, you know, till it stops. All right, and on this side, okay. So Chef also harvested a bunch of lettuce out of here for the big dinner coming up. I guess it's really lunch. Her class is, they're cooking a big meal for all the important people around and on the school and the people in the village. We're all important people, dude. That's what Jay says. It's true. We all are important people. It's good to have a reminder. But anyway, you know, big fancy dinner. So we got to grow a little bit of food for that, and that feels really nice. So we got spaces opening up for new plants. You know, it's exciting. It starts to back up. You got to get your timing right when you do starts and stuff. So I got a little bit behind the past couple of weeks, and gonna have to get back on the ball with some more starts, but we're in pretty good shape. These carrots are all coming in pretty nice. You know, that was just with the old pinch between the fingers, sprinkle them down a little I call it a drill, but you know, it's just like a little, take a stick and just make a little, I guess it's a drill. I mean, that's the name. You know, just make a line in the ground and then sprinkle your seeds in there and just cover it up, and you know, tell them that you love them and you're waiting for them, and keep them wet, and you know, they'll show up. Spinach is looking really good. I need to harvest greens again. This is more of the red romaine type. Yeah, the spinach is really nice. I tell you, if there's something you're going to start early in the spring so that you have some nice greens coming into your life, you know, when winter's starting to go away, spinach is a really good one, man. It's, you know, it kind of, it'll just sit there and kind of hover, and it's nice and low to the ground, so even if it gets super cold, like it can really take it for lots of reasons, you know. Yeah, I think that's a good one to grow every spring. It'll reseed itself too. I think if you got your your soil microbes in there and you got your nutrition together, you probably get away with growing them in the same place. I don't know. You got to figure that out for where you're at, what your pressures are and stuff. But I think what I did last year is I just let one go on this other bed over here, and then it all came up over there, and I'll collect seed off of that this year, because I feel like everybody that showed up wanted to be here. They knew what they were getting into, and the ones that are healthy are going to produce nice seed for where we live. So that's cool. You can see this cabbage right here. Looks like they are coming together. These guys are so wild looking. Hi, Chef. Of course, the garlic's doing great. Just got a bit more time. Should get in there and actually take a look at them. Did you want some for tomorrow, Jay?
Oh yeah.
Some green garlic? Okay. Sure. I hate to give it up, but it's okay. Just one or two, the longer we stand here, the more that number's gonna go up.
Yeah.
Just a little garnish. That's all we want. So a lot of sunflowers in here. You can see I don't know, it may be difficult to see. I know what's in here, so I know there's a lot of stuff in here, but we've got some Cylindra beets in here, and it's like there's some sunflowers and clover, and this guy looks like he's not having a good time. You can see, I bet it's got aphids. So, sometimes the answer is, it just wasn't meant to be, and it's okay. And I might leave that in here if I didn't have a lot of other plants that were actually real traps for aphids anyway. The clover and stuff does that job for me. But say if I hadn't planted something like that, and I had a plant like that go bad and it looked like it would survive, I might let it go just to go ahead and keep feeding my predators, and just try to keep it away from the other plants. I don't know, again, those kind of things, like, you just got to feel them out while you're doing it. Kind of, it depends on how often you're in the garden, and like what kind of ways you can and want to intervene, and so you got to come up with your own strategy. But you do have a lot of allies in the bugs, but they're not going to be around if there isn't water and food for them. So at some point there's just that white knuckle moment where if you're going to adopt a practice of having them around and just accepting them, then you just gotta be with it. I think part of it is also, like, if you're growing healthy plants, you'll notice that they don't get attacked. See, because this other one is right here, and these things here are just full of aphids, man. That's this is one of those other things that really this is the heron's beak, seems to have them too. But then this is the hairy vetch, and it definitely gets them. And you can see this guy's just right in the middle of it, and this other guy just pulled out was right here. I keep moving the water around like it's the camera. Anyway, camera's on your head, Dodo. This is well, it's actually got some too, but it's in pretty darn good shape, right? It's pretty able to fight that off. And you can see we've got a little ladybug, little crocodile of death there, working on it too. So I would just leave that. I'm not even gonna get in there and smash those guys or whatever. Ladybugs have already decided that that's a good place to have a family. So I'm gonna say that that's working. Anyway, moving along. Just get this garlic. Gonna have to deal with that hose back there. One of these days I'll have a fancy watering system. Probably not. It'd make me a less interesting person. I don't know if that's true. It's probably not true. All right, so these are the Merlot butterhead lettuces. We've got them here, 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 here. This is the last plant out we did, so I don't know, they've probably only been in there maybe 3 weeks. I'm not so good with the time. I don't know. They've been in there for not that long. They're doing really good. Take it from me. They're killing it. Not killing it, you know, they're kicking ass. They're kicking ass. But try not to cuss. Yeah, these guys are doing great. And then we got a couple more cabbages here. 3 more. And these guys, and again, this guy right here, you know, was up underneath this. I just cut it back. Every once in a while, I'll just come through here with the big knife and just, you know, give it the business and go feed the chickens, or I'll spread it around like a chop and drop kind of an idea. You know, it dries out on top and is good mulch for us because it gets so hot and dry here. Thing we can do to keep the moisture in the ground, we try to do generally. And then this is more onion. You know, these guys were planted and they were never very successful. They were planted sometime last year. There are a lot of ground squirrels. Man, don't get me started on the ground squirrels. You know, some people just, you know, they're squirrels. You know, sometimes the squirrel people really present themselves as the opposition. You know, I tried keeping water outside the fence for them. I even grew a patch of clover out there for them, hoping they'd just stay out there. I think I grew some other stuff out there too. They don't care, man. They'll just come in here and they'll just dig up a whole bed, take a bite out of the side of the carrots and throw them on the ground. And it looks like they're just having a party in here, you know, just digging it up. Don't care. Just don't care, man. They're real, yeah, I don't know. They're cute too. Got like really cool little hands. Anyway, try not to think about them too much. All right, don't get too excited, but look at this. You don't want to count your strawberries before they're red, but look at that. Hopefully you can see that. Let's see, I don't know where to put my head. Anyway, we're getting strawberries. These are some extra ones that Jay just planted on the end of the bed here. We just do different stuff on the, it's like the end cap, you know. You want to spruce up the end cap, like you're at the grocery store or whatever. But, you know, and try to put stuff that bees will like. You can see the clover over there is turning on, so the bees are in here. We got water out for them all the time. I don't know why that water's all foamy. That's weird. Actually, I try to keep it nice for them in here. The lizards really like that water situation there, and you know, the wasps come in here, and you know, they really like a soft-bodied bug there. You know, you give them like one of those horned worms or like any of that kind of stuff, man. They'll just cut it up and eat it. I've seen them take apart a big fat juicy hornworm with their mandibles, just cut it in sections like I don't know, just like meat, and then fly it off and then come back for more pieces until they flew the whole worm away.
Like a salami.
Like a salami, Jay says. And yeah, so I mean, you know, there's work going on. You know, you could be inside doing other stuff, and you know, it's ticking over out here. I'm telling you. You know, you put it together in a good way. I feel like, you know, it's about stewardship. You know, I think, I don't know. I like being in here. I don't even know what to say about it. I think I was trying to be profound there. It's about stewardship. It's about actually just being in your freaking garden. But, you know, it's hard to do. A lot of people can't do that. You know, which I feel bad for people because, well, I mean, I just feel like it's so good for me. And, you know, just the experience of being out here and having a nice cool breeze and, you know, oh yeah. And then this is the sand verbena is on, so, and this stuff really smells good. Right, it's just nice. It's nice to be out here. So, you know, maybe it's not even about how much food you grow, but just, you know, being out connected to it is good for you all by itself. And if you get some food out of it too, then that's pretty cool. And you know, like, you don't even have to try very hard. You'll be putting carbon in the ground. You know, even if you just want to have pretty flowers or whatever like that, you know, you can do it that way too. Like there's, you know, that bug just flew right out my nose. All right, maybe we'll edit that out. Hard to say. All right, I gotta pull that hose around the other side.
I can do it.
All right, Jay says she can do it, but she's gonna make me move. Why are you coming this way? Oh my God! You did that beautifully. I just want you to know. I can respect your moves. Thank you. All right, so this is still the wild side over here. We need to get that squared away pretty soon. That really probably should already be done. I'm gonna need to plant it out sooner than a couple of months. You know, normally I try to do those turnovers you know, a couple of months ahead so that all that can be ground up underneath the compost layer, kind of cooking down. So, but we may just come up with a slightly different plan with some better quality compost on top, and we'll just take those weeds out and not try to compost them in place, and we'll compost them outside with a bunch of horse manure that Dale and Kathleen provided for us. Well, really their horses provided it for us, but you know, they shared it with us. Dale said he had more horse manure than he needed. Some people would think that's a joke. You know, depending on the horse manure and your ability to compost it, that's good stuff right there. That's good gear. Gotta compost it though, be my recommendation. You know, you gotta watch out for pesticides in there too. There's some persistent stuff they're putting in these days, and it's particularly going towards horses because it runs right through the horses and goes back on the fields, and it's literally persistent. It'll persist right through an animal. So you gotta be careful about bringing that in. But you know, our strategy for that will be to compost it real good. And then we'll check it. We'll grow some beans in it and some squash in it. These are some things that I think are pretty susceptible to things like aminoparalids. Is probably the thing I'm most worried about. And then if we don't have any ill effects, we wouldn't put it in the garden. We'll grow it and test outside and see what happens. And if it's good, it's good. And if it's not, you know, then we'll figure out a way to remediate it. We need to figure these things out. So I've got some pretty good ideas about some biology that can probably take care of it, maybe a little bit faster. We know that plants and working together with biology can do some pretty amazing things. So let's see, I kind of blew through that section over there, but that's the wild land over there on the edge. Well, there's a vetch flower though. Maybe we should go look at that. So this is another thing that the bees like, and our big wild bees and little wild bees really love these too. This is some of the earliest stuff to bloom. That and the heron's beak. But look at that beauty right there, you know? It smells really good, I think. Maybe I just think it smells good because it's so pretty. Once this is like a big, well, you see it's starting to go off. Once it's like a big bush blooming, that the top just sort of glows. You know, it's hard to explain. It's very nice stuff. But anyway, this is more cylindra beets here. And, you know, just some various, whatever, I'm not even sure what these plants are. They're just stuff to come up wild. some of the stuff that comes at wild's native and some of it's not. So I'm to go through and figure these things out. Let's see, these are turnips that we planted last year. I guess it was last year. And so these guys are bolting, going to seed. Parsnips, did I say? I said turnip, huh? I always get those confused. You know, the white rooty ones. So that'll be fun. Wow, look at that. You have wild flowers, huh? See how fat this thing is?
They're gonna be giant.
Look at that.
They're gonna be like this big around.
Yeah, nice. Okay, well that's cool. Takes a long time to get them, but you know, totally worth it. And then this is some more of that same Merlot, I think. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I should be better about what's going where, I guess. I don't know. People probably be upset about that. You gotta know where everything is in your garden in case the people with the badges show up and need to ask you about things. Yeah. Well, I pick with you in the morning. Yeah. I will. What are you gonna pick? Oh yeah.
And we need to pick loose leaf.
Yeah, we do. For sure. So you see the garlic's doing good, and this is more of that heron's beak. It's just going off. This plant's been here for years. This one and that one. And you see the garlic poking up through there. I'm pretty confident that they're not competing at all, and that the garlic's actually pretty happy about the company. So, I mean, he hasn't said anything different. Or they haven't. I think the garlic's happy. Alright, I think the camera's riding down, man. It's hard to say. We're almost there. Gonna round the bend pretty soon. How's that water?
Still going.
Nice. Going round the bend. I can't really remember that song. Almost got it. Little Johnny Cash there. Yeah, man, these are such cool looking lettuces. This is the Dragoon. I just think they're super rad looking. And of course this is the Merlot all grown up. And I don't know if I'm saying it right. It's Mirlo, I think is how it's spelled. Which, you know, kind of make you think like it's a red, but it's not. It's not red, it's green. Can't remember how many garlic we planted. It's a lot. I think there's 500 and some in here. I'm hoping to be able to fill the whole hoop house up this fall. We'll have enough seed to fill the whole thing up. It's gonna make it hard to grow next year in here though. Maybe we'll be able to we've got another hoop house to put up. Maybe we'll be able to get that up this year. And then, cause this is nice about garlic, you know, I don't know where the garlic of the future is coming from, but you know, I know where my garlic of the future is coming from. It's coming from right here. And I think this is some really nice garlic too. So, you know, it's happy here and it really is nice and tasty. So. Yeah, all the lettuces are so different. It's so fun to watch them grow up. I need to get in here and cut back all these nitrogen fixers. Starting to get a little wild. Had a bum tooth for the last few weeks, so I've been a little a little off the game. There's a few things in here I would like to have in a different place than they are, but it's all right. Still gotta take it easy for a couple of days too. Trying not to push it too hard, but man, there's stuff to do. It's springtime. Once the spring is sprung, you can't, you can't put it back. These little guys, they need a lot of water when they're just first getting in the ground. You want to make sure they stay nice and hydrated. You really get them off to a good start and they'll have a really good life. They're just like us. I just never even planted those. There's just like some poor lettuce right there. I feel guilt about that. Like I never gave them a chance.
You want me to put them where I took the others out?
Oh, you mean you're going to take them into the back pasture and what? Feed them to the chickens? Yeah, no, I do. I wouldn't spend space on them in here anyway.
Okay.
But if you want to put them somewhere, please do.
Well, hell, what an opportunity.
Well, what an opportunity. Well. Jay's tree nursery over here. These are mostly plums, right, Jay?
All plums, yeah.
Yeah, they're all plums. Rootstock?
Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll be able to do a bunch of fruit trees. Propagation this year. Jay's really been heading up the research and the R&D on that.
Showing the grape bud at the bottom.
Oh, that's right. Our little grape in here has come alive. That's pretty exciting. That's a Concord. We just put it in last year. We're kind of hoping it's going to take over the hoop house on this end here. It is, that's the north corner right there, so it's not going to be interfering with anyone's light too much, and it can grow up really this half of the hoop house. Probably even all the way. If it's giving me grapes, I'd be willing to let it do quite a bit of growing in here. Hello, bee. So that's pretty exciting. Very, very exciting. It's something we just haven't pulled off yet is fruit. And, oh yeah, look at that. I see you. It's great light too. Untitled Kale right here. There's another one. What's it got eaten? Oh, no, there it is. This, what's that?
You want to start closing up?
Yeah, maybe part of it. Yeah, sure. This is a red Russian kale from last year. We just left in and it's going to seed, so I don't know. We may just wind up eating that. Those little seed heads on there are delicious. I mean, it's basically what broccoli is, so if you ever find yourself, in a situation where you're like, all my brassicas have bolted, that's okay. Just pinch those heads off, man. That's a salad right there, part of your saute mix. No need to be sad. Just roll with it, and you probably have already planted the next thing you want to put there anyway. So, it's just a cycle, man. It's just going around. Nothing static. Ladybug chases the aphid. Things slow down, but they never stop. Until they do. But hopefully that's not anytime soon for anybody. I know. Are any of you out there watching this? Hi. So even areas we're not growing in, we keep watered anyway. And we try to always keep something alive in there. Here's some, this is Merlot, or not Merlot, this is, actually I'm not sure which lettuce that is. It went to seed last year, we let it go here. It might be Monte Carlo, probably is, yeah, I think it is Monte Carlo. But it came up by itself, and you can see it's growing in there with the clover. And that's actually a pretty good head of lettuce coming in there. So we normally don't grow these for heads. We normally grow them just to pick individual leaves off. But, you know, you'd be surprised, like, you know, clover is pretty wild, but, you know, not everything's going to fight with it. Some things are like, well, it's pretty nice, you know, to be hanging out with clover. And, you know, if they get along, they get along. You know, I found that the vetch, when it's grown up all wild like this, if you've got onions growing underneath there, they love it. They don't care. You know, those hectorite turnips will grow underneath there too, because this stuff will make a mat on the ground. And those turnips will grow right out on the ground. They'll just lay on their side and they'll just stick a taproot down, and they'll grow the whole vegetable out on top of the ground as long as they're out of the sun. So you can come through and pull this mat back, and if I had turnips in there, there'd just be turnips underneath. You wouldn't be able to get any good greens off of it, but you know, depends on what you're after, and it also depends on what your pest pressures are and stuff. You know, sometimes you gotta hide things, and you know, just keeping it real. Can you even catch the hose right there, Jay?
Yes.
You know, by hook or by crook, you know, you just.
They're about there though. That's...
Cool. You know, just trying to get some food, right? I'm not trying to make a point. Trying to make an example out of anybody. You know, if I can get my food out of here with without any violence, that would be my preference. And then here we are back where we started. All right, well, that's one lap around. We'll see how this edits out. Maybe this will be like an episode. We'll just do like one of these a week or something. All right, love ya. Hope you're growing what you want.